Did you know we actually know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own ocean?
Wait, stop. Mars? You mean the literal dead rock millions of miles away in space?
Exactly, bro. We have a highly detailed, globally mapped topographical model of the surface of Mars, but we barely know what the ocean floor looks like right here on Earth.
That doesn't even make sense. We live here.
I know. And trust me, that is just the beginning of the lies we've been told about our own planet. The mainstream narrative has totally misdirected us in this explainer today. Okay, but seriously, think about how we're conditioned to see the world. We are constantly sold this massive myth that space is our final frontier. It's everywhere. Movies, news, textbooks. We've poured hundreds of billions into launching multi-ton rovers to Mars. We've got orbital telescopes casually snapping high-res photos of galaxies billions of light years away. And we absolutely obsess over the idea that deep space is the ultimate, infinite unknown. It honestly makes me frustrated just thinking about how much we've been distracted.
Exactly. We treat space like it's the absolute only place left to discover. But dude, it's a massive distraction from the absolute truth right under our feet.
So here is the terrifying fact. The ocean covers 71% of our entire planet. It's literally everywhere. You look at a globe, it's mostly blue. And yet, we have explored less than 20% of it.
Less than 20%? No way!
Let that sink in, man. That means 80% of our own ocean is completely unknown. It's unmapped, completely unseen, and totally ignored. We know the coordinates of dead stars, but we have this massive, pitch-black blind spot covering the majority of the very rock we call home. It's like humanity just looked at the water, got scared of the dark, and straight up gave up. And you have to understand the sheer mind-bending scale of what we're ignoring here. Take the deepest part of the ocean, the Mariana Trench. It plunges almost 11 kilometers straight down into absolute, crushing, pitch-black darkness.
11 kilometers straight down. How deep is that really, like, practically speaking?
Put it this way. You could rip Mount Everest out of the ground, literally the tallest mountain on Earth, drop it straight into the Mariana Trench, and the absolute peak of that mountain would still be submerged over a mile underwater. With room to spare. The peak of Everest wouldn't even break the surface. Dude, that is insane. Mount Everest completely swallowed up in the dark. And yet, we still prioritize space? I mean, 12 people have literally walked on the surface of the moon. 3 different missions. But how many people have reached the very bottom of our own ocean?
Only a handful of human beings in the entire history of our species have ever made it down there. It's wild. 3 people on one single Apollo moon mission alone, but almost 0 at the very bottom of our own world. We've spent way more time bouncing around in low gravity than we have looking at our own planet's floor.
Section 1. Monsters of the Deep. What are we missing?
Seriously, if 80% of it is completely dark and unexplored, what is down there?
Honestly, that is the scariest part. We genuinely do not know. Scientists estimate there are anywhere from 700,000 to over 1 million species living in the ocean. 1 million species. But how many have we actually found?
Only about 250,000. That means there are hundreds of thousands of literal deep-sea monsters down there, evolving for millions of years in absolute darkness, under extreme pressure, that we haven't even identified yet.
Which brings us to the craziest myth of all. The Kraken. For centuries, sailors came back to port with these terrifying, blood-chilling stories of giant sea monsters wrapping massive, thick tentacles around their ships and dragging them down to the bottom of the sea. And all right, mainstream science completely wrote it off, dude. They said it was just a legendary sea monster, a myth, just hallucinations from tired sailors. So arrogant. Right. Until they were proven dead wrong. The fact is, the giant squid is 100% real. Mainstream science denied it for hundreds of years, but in 2004, Japanese researchers actually filmed a massive, living giant squid in the wild for the very first time. They captured intense, undeniable footage of this colossal creature just lurking in the deep abyss.
So the Kraken was real this whole time?
Pretty much, yeah. The literal monster they said was fake was just swimming around in the dark, waiting for us to finally build cameras good enough to find it. Okay, but bro, if the giant squid is real, what else down there is actually real? Seriously, ask yourself that. If science smugly denied the Kraken for hundreds of years, what other mythical creatures are just hiding down there in the pitch black right now, totally undiscovered? Megalodons? Prehistoric sea serpents? We literally have no idea. But here's where it gets even crazier. Section 2. Impossible underwater worlds. Secret geography.
Oh man, impossible geography? It gets crazier than giant squids?
Way crazier.
Because the ocean isn't just hiding undiscovered creatures, it is hiding entire impossible underwater worlds. We are talking about secret geography that literally shouldn't exist, but it totally does.
Mountains, massive volcanoes, lakes, all of them completely submerged under miles of water.
Wait, real underwater rivers?
You heard me. Real, actual rivers flowing right along the ocean floor.
How?
Well, when you get water that's super salty and incredibly cold, it becomes insanely dense. So it sinks straight to the bottom and flows downhill, exactly like a river on land.
Dude, a literal river inside the ocean?
Yes, complete with riverbanks, raging rapids, and flowing currents, entirely underwater. Submarines have literally filmed it. It looks like a CGI fantasy movie, but it's completely real. And if you think rivers are wild, check out the Denmark Strait Cataract. This is an underwater waterfall. And it's not just any waterfall. It is the absolute largest waterfall on Earth.
Wait, the biggest waterfall on the planet isn't even on land?
Nope. Forget Niagara Falls. This is a 3.5-kilometer high drop, entirely underwater. It dumps 5 million cubic meters of dense, freezing water over an ocean cliff every single second. That's like dumping thousands of Olympic swimming pools over a cliff every single second, nonstop. And nobody talks about it. And it doesn't stop there. Have you ever heard of the Mid-Ocean Ridge?
Never.
It is a massive, sprawling mountain range that stretches for 65,000 kilometers around the entire globe.
65,000 kilometers?
Dude, it is way longer than the Himalayas. It is the single longest mountain range on our entire planet, and it is entirely underwater, unseen by 99% of humanity. We literally live on a planet we completely do not understand.
And it gets deeper than that. Section 3, Earth's Time Capsule, Lost History. The ocean floor isn't just hiding wild geography. It is basically Earth's biggest, completely untouched time capsule.
It's literally holding on to thousands of years of lost human history that we just cannot reach. Look at this number, 3 million. UNESCO estimates that there are currently around 3 million undiscovered shipwrecks sitting on the ocean floor right now. 3 million ships just sitting there, completely intact in the pitch dark. We're talking about ancient Roman galleons filled with artifacts, sunken pirate ships hoarding stolen loot, World War II submarines packed with classified gear. Most of them have never been found. They're holding billions upon billions in lost gold, lost treasures, and completely forgotten human history, just sitting there waiting at the bottom of the world.
Okay, if there are 3 million ships down there full of ancient gold, why aren't we going down there right now to get them?
2 words, crushing pressure. The deeper you go, the sheer weight of millions of gallons of water stacks up on top of you. In the deepest zones, the pressure is over 1,000 times greater than what we feel on the surface.
What does that actually do to a person?
Bro, if you stepped outside a submarine down there, the pressure would crush your human body instantly. I'm talking flat in a microsecond, like a fragile soda can getting run over by an 18-wheeler truck. It is instantly lethal. You wouldn't even have time to register what happened.
But despite the insane danger, the history we have managed to scan is totally mind-blowing. We're not just finding ships, we're finding lost civilizations.
You're joking.
I'm completely serious. Deep underwater off the coast of India, Japan, like the Yonaguni Monument, and even off the coast of Cuba, divers and deep-sea sonars have found eerie, massive structures that look 100% man-made. Giant cut-stone steps, towering monoliths, potential ancient cities that were likely swallowed by rising sea levels melting after the last ice age. Civilizations we literally know absolutely nothing about.
Okay, wait a minute. You're telling me about man-made structures thousands of feet underwater. So is Atlantis real? Did we actually find it?
Look, I'm not explicitly saying Atlantis is real, but with 80% of the ocean entirely unmapped and totally ignored by mainstream archaeology, I'm definitely not saying it's fake either. Think about the implications, man. We have no idea what actual human history is buried down there.
Seriously, though, it's 2026. We have artificial intelligence. We have reusable rockets that land themselves flawlessly. Right. Which leads us to Section 4, why it remains hidden, the barriers to exploration.
Yeah, what are the barriers? Why haven't we explored this yet?
It comes down to 3 huge barriers. We already talked about the crushing pressure. The second is complete, total darkness. Below 200 meters, 0 sunlight reaches the water. It's absolute blackness.
Navigating a submarine down there is literally like driving blindfolded through a massive city you've never been to.
In a submarine that probably costs $1 billion to build.
Exactly. That's the third barrier. The insane astronomical cost. Building specialized equipment that can survive that insane pressure and navigate total darkness costs just as much as a deep space mission. But guess what? Space missions get all the sexy PR and NASA gets all the funding.
And that massive lack of funding is a tragedy, because look at what we actually are finding in that pitch-black darkness. Bioluminescent creatures that glow in the dark like neon signs. We found extremophile life forms thriving near scalding hydrothermal vents that do not need oxygen or sunlight at all to survive.
Wait, life without oxygen?
Without sunlight, without oxygen, without anything we previously thought biology strictly required. They're just down there in the absolute extremes, completely rewriting the rules of science.
Hold up. If we have actual alien-like organisms surviving in absolute darkness and toxic, boiling extremes right here on Earth, what does that mean for life on other planets? If life can survive at the bottom of our ocean, it could easily survive under the ice of Jupiter's moons. Scientists have to be rethinking everything.
Oh, they are, because the bottom of the ocean is the closest thing to an alien planet we have ever seen. Dude, it's literally an alien planet right here on Earth.
So let's just lay out the insane reality of our own planet. 80% of the ocean is totally unexplored.
We've got impossible underwater waterfalls and massive subterranean rivers.
3 million undiscovered shipwrecks hoarding lost history and ancient gold.
And actual alien life forms surviving without oxygen?
And yet we are spending billions trying to go to a dead red planet. Before we spend another $1 trillion looking up at Mars, we should really start looking down.
That genuinely changes how I see the entire world. We are living on an alien planet right now.
And that is exactly the point. Did you know? Now you do. Subscribe for your daily dose of knowledge.